So we are here with PJ Souls. Hi, PJ.
Hi.
So what do you have here?
This is a still from the famous movie Halloween, the original Halloween.
It's a little independent film. Most of you probably have never heard of it. But it did start as an independent film, right?
Well, yes, independent as in not a real, big studio. Yes.
So this is probably going to be a really generic question, but as far as shooting goes, how was that for you, like the experience behind that? Because John Carpenter, by then, I mean, this was like, he has yet to really make a name for himself, so.
Right. Well, this was pretty much his second film, I think. So, and I think his second film.
Dark Star, I think, was his first, right?
And mine too. I had only done Carrie.
Ahem.
Before that, Carrie, girl with a red baseball hat. So it was just really laid back. It was a 21-day shooting schedule. We, took 1 or 2 takes only usually because we had to just work quickly. I only had so much time. But it was a very creative process, most film, shootings are, but this was more so because you really felt like you were part of the team and you could be collaborative with John Carpenter and Deborah Hill.
So I know John Carpenter originally wrote the dialogue. Now, who wrote your dialogue? Because I heard it wasn't John.
Actually, Deborah Hill wrote all the girls' dialogue, and she's the one that came up with the totally. And then when I read it and I noticed that it was pretty much in every sentence, so I asked John, is it okay if I put it in every sentence? I said, just tell me if you think as we're going along it's too much. And I just always remember Dean Cundy, the DP, the cinematographer, whenever I would do a line or two, and he would just be shaking his head and kind of rolling his eyes and laughing at me. And actually it was after that movie that then I did Rock and Roll High School, and Dean Cundy was the DP on that. So it was really fun to see him again because I loved him.
It did seem like a lot of your character carried over on that. Was that the reason you were cast in that? Is because not necessarily a typecasting, but something familiar? Because you kind of seemed like.
Oh, because I had positive energy?
Yes.
And I was cute?
Exactly.
Those are 2 qualifying things for both those roles. I think so. I think I had heard Alan Arkish in an interview saying that he had seen me in Halloween and went, oh, we need her for Riff Randall. So probably. But, obviously there are 2 different types of girls, but there's a fine line when you're playing a teenage girl in high school.
So between all the characters you've played, between like Carrie, Halloween, Stripes, who's your favorite in Rock and Roll High School? All of them? Yeah,
probably Riff Randall in Rock and Roll High School, only because obviously I was the lead and I got to buy my own wardrobe and it was just the most fun.
And you got to hang out with Joey Ramone. How was that?
He got to spit in my mouth as he's singing to me on the bed. And that was day 1 of shooting, because that too, like Halloween, was independent. Well, Roger Corman, but very independent, very low budget. And we had to do quickly. So day 1 was the Ramones in my bedroom singing to me. So that was pretty heavy.
I forgot that was a Corman flick. I gotta ask, how was an experience on a Corman film? Because I've heard so many stories that it's a little fast-paced and they recycle a lot of sets, and he's always on set changing things. Is that true?
He was not on set. He sort of trusted. Alan Arkish cut his trailers. He was an editor for his movie trailers, and that's how he finally convinced Roger, please let me do a full-budget, full feature film. And he gave him the opportunity. I think it was called Girls Gym or Disco High or something. It certainly wasn't going to have the Ramones in it. I think they were thinking of Cheap Trick, but that would have been okay. Although it would have been way different with that lead singer singing to me instead of Joey Ramone. But the biggest thing was there was no food. No, I'm just kidding. There was definitely food, but we were starved. Yeah, lots of pizza.
Have an experience like that?
Yes, like experience with Bill Murray overall?
Well, of course.
Let's hear the dirt on Bill.
Well, the dirt on Bill is he's a genius. He's hilarious, but he's very moody. So, Bill, you know you are, so I'm not saying anything that people don't know.
Bill's my big follower on Twitter. He's going to see this.
You're a little mean, too, Bill, remember? Okay. Pushing the wardrobe girl in the snow. You remember.
He's pushed a girl out of the line to meet Sigourney Weaver. Oh, a little girl.
Some schmoozer you are. Anyway, but the great thing about Bill is when the camera's rolling, you can totally depend and trust and count on him that he's going to come up with, yes, something funnier than Harold Ramis has written. But for example, the kitchen scene in Stripes, all ad lib, 3 o'clock in the morning. We're supposed to be on a hill outside watching fireworks to get our first kiss. That was the show that the two of us were going to come together. It was raining. We were inside. Ivan Reitman, the director, said, we have to do something. I don't know, let's go in the kitchen. Bill opens the refrigerator, pulls out a carrot, and I said, what are you going to do with that? And Ivan said, bring the camera in here, let's shoot it. 3 in the morning, it took 20 minutes to make that scene happen, and all I did was follow Bill. And I think it's one of the best scenes in the movie, and one of my favorite scenes. So
Here we go. So Devil's Rejects,
Rejects.
where you were actually assaulted by Sid Haig.
Sid Haig, great clown.
And
Very scary.
experience on the Devil's Rejects, because I mean, where was that filmed? Because it looked like I think it was down south,
California.
so it was like extremely
I know.
hot. Like,
yeah,
but
yeah. No, my scene. I mean, no, we filmed. The whole thing was filmed in California, outside of Los Angeles. We have some little dusty parts that are really good for and good canyons and stuff that are good for filming. But that casting call was put out for notable 70s actors, and later I had read like a 20-question interview of Rob Zombie, and they asked him who was your favorite cult film actress of the 70s, and he said PJ Soles. So obviously he picked me because he liked me, and that was really cool. And we had fun filming it, and it was the same time that this band called Local H had come out with the song "Whatever Happened to PJ Soles." I don't know if you ever heard that.
yeah, I've heard
It's
of
really,
it, but I haven't.
it's really cool. It's very haunting and cool. So I brought it for Rob, and every time we took a break, he would put it on the loudspeakers and play it on the set. So it was really funny. But I have to say, at lunchtime, I'm sitting there eating my food, and Rob Zombie comes out with all his memorabilia, posters, DVDs. He puts it down on the table next to my food and asks me to sign all his stuff. So I was like, wow, is that why you hired me?
I don't think he'd eBay it. I think he'd keep it though.
Oh no, he did. It was definitely to Rob, or as I call him, RZ. And I actually gave him he invited me to his 40th birthday party, and I gave him my original copy of Halloween. That's before he did the reimagining, yeah, a couple of years before. So, and I think it beat out Nick Cage's gift of a shrunken head.
So his birthday party was basically who can bring Rob the weirdest gift.
Well, he didn't open it till the next day, but what was funny, it was at a club, and I mean, it was a table filled with gifts, and I had just wrapped this script, so obviously, I thought, oh my gosh, what if it like drops in the puddle on the way to the car, or nobody, it's so small because all the other presents were big, except for the shrunken head, which Nick Cage brought in all glowing and gloating that he had gotten him the best gift. Next day, 8 a.m., my phone rings. I let the answering machine answer because it's too early, and it's Rob Zombie going, oh my God, this is the best gift anyone's ever given to me. It's going to be put in plastic. It's going in my vault. No hands are ever going to touch it except mine. Thank you, thank you. So that's really sweet. Plus, I also got to go to another party at his house and see Johnny Ramone before he passed away. It was about 3 or 4 months before he passed away, and Rob was just having this get-together, and I got to hug him. I got to reconnect and also just basically say, hey, punch him in the arm and say, I've always heard that you're bad rap in Rock and Roll High School, because their street cred was kind of destroyed from this zany, crazy movie. And I said, we're going to live on forever in this movie, so you should be happy about that. So it was nice.
Well, PJ, thank you very much.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate it.